So I basically went through the week and I missed my Wednesday stream just due to work being busy. It is what it is. And, ouch, that's hot. I came back this evening and man, I've been playing this Hades game just off and on. I think I bought it, well, no, I know I bought it last week when it released on Steam. And the night that it released, I played it for far too many hours. It was like a Thursday. I should have been studying for my final. It was kind of my procrastination tool. I was using Hades to not study for a final. Let me click play here. But you can see I've only done 26 runs so far. It really bothers me there's no music going. Weird. Anyway, let me click this button and maybe some music will start. So anyway, I've done 26 runs and I decided to start streaming this game mostly because I've been enjoying it so much, and also because I finally reached a point where I have successfully completed where the game is currently with each of the 5 different weapons. So you can kind of see here, if you're not familiar, you have 5 different weapons to choose from right now. It looks like there's a 6th one forthcoming. The game's still in early access. It is a roguelike game. So basically you choose a weapon, and I'm not going to get too into the story, but you're the son of Hades. So basically you start out in, you know, this mythological hell equivalent, and you're trying to fight your way out of hell because the gods of Olympus have promised you whatever, some kind of peace once you get out. There's little bits of story scattered through the game. My interest in that has faded over time. I just want to kill stuff at this point. So let me all right, I'm trying to keep an eye on the audio. Let me know if it's super obnoxious. So basically, I have the shield equipped right now, and the basic idea is you have an attack, you have a special move, so this is like a Captain America type thing, and then a bolt thing. You can see we have 3 charges of this bolt, and we can put a bolt on an enemy, and then it takes more damage. I don't know, that's kind of that's the basics. And we have a dash. So if you're into games where you're like dodging stuff, it's not too bullet helly, but I don't know. And it's also not too heavy on the reaction time. So if you're not used to this type of game, I don't find it to be, I don't know, it's not too, like, I guess the barrier to entry isn't too high, is what I'm trying to say. You can pick this up and have some fun with it. My last run I did the shield. I've enjoyed the shield the least. When I first saw it, I was like, dude, the Captain America build, I just want to do this and make some cool combos. It just didn't work. I like the spear a lot. It has this throw thing where you chuck the spear and then it just kind of sits over there and you can dodge around and then bring it back. It's got some cool effects. You can also see there's like a dash attack you can do. So that, I mean, the skill scaling is interesting to me. For now, the game is telling us that the bow has the purple swirl. So if we take the bow, we get extra resource, which is used for other stuff. And I'll get into that later when I think that it matters more. But for now, I just want to kill some stuff, so. I kind of have to choose what weapon I want. I'm going to do the spear. So since I finally beat the game on all the weapons, I have these modifiers you can do to the game. So as you progress through the 4 different areas that are currently in the game, you get a special reward when you beat those areas. And once you've acquired all of those rewards, you then have to put in modifiers to have access to new rewards. And these are obviously the harder to get rewards in the game. I've started out by just doing this damage control. Each rank gives your foes 1, I don't know, blue heart, which makes them ignore an instance of damage, which I find to not be that prohibitive. So I'm going to do that for now. And we'll start here. There's other ones. I don't know. I'm not going to go into them. There's too many, honestly. But, you know, making your shops cost more, do more damage. You know, it's all the stuff you kind of expect in a game like this.
Take heed.
The fear of death keeps mortals well in check. You best learn to fear something yourself, you hear me, boy?
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot to the game, mostly because I'm starting the stream partway through, having played for 20 hours right now, so it does seem like there's a lot to the game, but honestly, it's not too bad. You pick a weapon, you go kill stuff, you find these little things here, and each one represents a different god, and it's kind of RNG based on which of your attack, your special, which is the spear throw for us right now, or your cast, which is the red gem thing. So you can see here, if we take this top one, your cast, which is the red gem, which we have 3 charges of, is a burst chain lightning that bounces between foes. Kind of cool. We can see this one's rare, so our dash now creates some lightning damage, or a call, which is a special ability on the F key. We have a little charge bar, basically. So this is a boss killer. Is your call. Your bar will fill up, and then after you've been in a fight for so long, you can press F, and then things happen. I'm gonna do the electro shot because I've had some good luck with it in the past. Ooh, chaos. This is a special little thing. This is a kind of a hidden god called Chaos. You sacrifice some HP to go talk to Chaos, and then Chaos gives you some special rewards. Looks all psychedelic. It was fun.
I believe this to be true myself most of my life. She isn't my birth mother, no, but she is like a mother to me. Do you know her?
Oh, I know the goddess Nyx quite well, of course. Though it has been a while since we last communicated, and I fear I was not the charitable sort back then. It is my hope that Nyx is faring well.
Yeah, I really love the art style in this game. So Chaos is neat. Basically, as you can see, there's an upfront cost, which is HP, and then there's an ongoing cost for X number of encounters, and after you've paid that price, the X number of encounters price, you then gain a permanent reward for the rest of the run. So you can see the top one for the next 3 encounters. Each time you use special, or when we press Q and throw the spear, we take 5 damage. So basically we don't get to use our special for the next 3 encounters, but afterwards we gain 35 life. Okay. Or for the next 4 encounters, we can't gain Hades bucks. It's just a currency for shops. Or it's Charon's obol, if you really want to use the proper term. Afterward, gain 1 red gem deal. I don't care about that. Or we have, for the next 4 encounters, take 333% damage from traps. Afterwards, your dash attack deals extra damage. Honestly, these don't really spark joy for me. I'm going to do the dash attack because I tend to jump around a lot with the spear. And the other kind of, like, maybe the last thing for now to really go over in terms of the game is there's branching paths. And basically you get to choose from however many rewards after an encounter. And so there's some choice involved. It's, you know, the branching path is really only in the rewards that you get. It's not like permanently changes things. So we can get some gems here, some purple bucks, or some keys. This is entirely out of the encounter's currency. So we spend this after the run to further enhance our character. I forgot. Oh, it's trap damage we have. So the gems don't really do anything for us here, but it is necessary to power us up so we can be better in the future. That's something to consider, I guess. Oops. Ooh. That whole extra damage from traps thing actually happened. I'm talking. Hey, Mini Minotaur. Yeah, I've been playing Hades a lot off stream. So I decided to finally bring it to stream now that I've killed my dad. once each with all the weapons. So I've been absolutely loving it. I think it's thoroughly enjoyable. I'm hoping that it translates to stream well. You know, I've played some other games on stream that maybe aren't as enjoyable to watch as a spectator, but I think this could work. We'll see. I also kind of like it because I think a lot of the games that I've streamed so far have not been, I don't want to say, I don't know the term. They haven't been like reactionary, really, like speed based. So you don't have to prove my worth as a gamer, basically. that I can do this. Because all I really do other than that is get distracted and play Slay the Spire. My runs take like 3 hours because I don't actually sit there and play the game for half the time. Too busy talking. Be a better gamer. Or something. You can see these griffin panels on the floor are more traps. So on the left-hand side, we have our modifiers to our skills. We don't really have any right now, but we can see this is our chaos boon. We have one more encounter to go before that's actually activated. So avoiding these griffin panels is incredibly important. So we saw Zeus at the very start of the run. This is the identifier, the heart for Aphrodite. Not my favorite god. She basically allows us to apply weak to enemies, so they do less damage. Very Slay the Spire-esque, I suppose. But it's not like that front-loaded damage. Like, I don't really care about applying weak. I just want to kill things faster and better. At least the most fun runs that I've had so far are the upfront do damage things.
Zeus has made acquaintances with you? Oh, I sometimes forget that he
Have I played Dead Cells? I have very minorly. It does very much fit within the roguelite category, in my opinion. So every run feels very different. You can see here now we're offered some epic choices. This one modifies our attack to do extra damage and inflict weak. With how much we're attacking right now, maybe that's a good thing. And also modify our dash to do more damage. Where you started, I really don't like these modifiers. Or this guy here. Let's do the attack one for now. More attack is good. Did I need some G Fuel? Looking for sponsors. G Fuel, please. Now that I'm streaming, I'm suddenly very aware of how much I'm missing. Can only go up from here. So our lightning effect right now is just on our cast, so we can take this static discharge. Static discharge, interestingly, is something in Slay the Spire 2. It's pretty good. I like it on like an attack or something, or if we have something on our special already. Having just lightning on our cast is okay. I also find it to be beneficial to fill out all of the modifiers on our skills. Static discharge. I know, I'm having a hard time not taking static discharge, even though we don't have a lot of lightning right now. Maybe lean into it and try to find Zeus some more later on. Ah!
The underworld's power.
Sisyphus. I believe it is. Not the best event.
How can you stand it being here like this? You've always seemed in such good spirits, though.
Is this game better than Gungeon? I would not go that far, honestly. Just because Gungeon is in such an amazing place right now. But, you know, it's still in early access. There's still content to be added. If you go through and actually beat the game and all the content it has right now, there's kind of a funny little line that pops up like, oh, just pretend that you lost because there's, you know, more to come from this point on. So it ends quite abruptly, which I don't like, but that's okay. Oops. It's not a big deal. So maybe back when Gungeon was in early access, you could compare it to an incomplete Gungeon experience. But it does fit nicely in the roguelite category, and I think why I would compare it to Gungeon, which I don't know if I really would, but if I were to, it has a similar, you know, dodge/dash mechanic, which feels Gungeon-esque. Because, I don't know, in something like The Binding of Isaac or other roguelites, that dodge mechanic maybe isn't there as much as it is in a game like Gungeon, which is like guns and dodge. the game. I remembered to queue. Oh, I missed the chest. Dang it. Disregard. We got 309 Hades bucks. The middle thing here is plus 25 max HP, and the left one is a modifier from the god Ares, which I like. He is my favorite call in the game currently. There it is, but it is not a high level one. Like I'm playing on speedrun. This is kind of why I wanted to stream this game, because I just kind of get locked. I get in the zone. I don't really know how to explain it. And it's just go, go, go.
Oh well.
So this is the first boss of the first area in the game. It's one of 3 random bosses that you can get. It's 3 sisters, basically, and their movesets are similar. I think this is meant to be like the middle difficulty one, or maybe the hardest. I really don't know. Definitely not the easiest, though. Oops. So I don't know if you noticed, but I can use F to do my call now, which turns me into this Rift Blade thing. It was not an efficient use of it, but I just kind of wanted to show it off. The Ares one makes you an impervious spinning wheel of death. And the best part about it is that you're impervious and you can do damage. So there's bosses later on where just being impervious for a period of time is way, way worth it on its own. Whoa, hold on. Had to kill that boss real quick. The Mayo King, my good friend, for 3 months. Welcome back, man. Thank you very much for the subby. Oh, and some thanks for the nice little doge there too. It's my favorite weapon and build so far. I had a lot of fun with the railgun. And there's a modifier you can get on the railgun where it, by default, has ammo that you have to manually reload. There's a modifier that you can get to make it never run out of ammo. It's just an infinite build. There's a similar thing that can happen with the bow, to where you just hold left click and you just keep shooting, whereas normally you power up your they call a power shot, and you have to like click, hold, let go to do a single arrow. With the bow, you just kind of keep shooting. So I've had some really fun runs with the ranged weapons. I think I've struggled the most with the melee weapons, just due to the nature of the bosses in this game. They seem to favor distance more than they favor getting up close into the face of the enemies. Maybe you'd expect that, but if I had one criticism of Hades so far, I don't know, I wish that they were a little more gentle with the melee weapons. To compensate for that, you can kind of see that you knock enemies back, like they don't move when you're hitting them, really. They just kind of stand there. But that doesn't happen against bosses. So that's where the difficulty comes in. Are they? I haven't looked that deeply into the game. Is it they call it the Stygian blade or something like that? You're taking a hammer every time. I had a really great sword run last night, which relied on a very fast attack that I liked a lot. I think they do more damage. For sure. It's just a matter of survivability. So maybe as I get better and recognize the patterns more, that'll matter less. I hope, anyway. Oh my god. Whoops. Oh, sword where you pounce. I know that one. You kind of like jump and it's like a big two-handed swing. And Mayo King with the gift sub to Mini Minotaur, man. Thanks for the love this evening. That first D1 hey going on in the chat. One of the things I can't wait for, if and when I ever make Twitch partner, is changing my the prefix to my emotes away from first D1. I like to mock it though, currently. So the hammer, the Daedalus hammer here, modifies your base skills to do things that are just better or different. And I think the hammer in particular is where like the crux of the interesting builds come from in Hades. You got diamonds, you got flasks, you got the Christmas spirit, the holiday spirit, whatever you do. Thank you for the early present. I guess I've been nice. Anyway, so you can see here, I've done the multi-skewer before. So your special, which is our Q, bounces up to 7 foes, dealing an extra bit of damage. So I did this before, and then I got I had the Doom modifier. So Doom is a modifier where if you hit an enemy, after a couple seconds, it'll do a pretty substantial amount of damage. So with the multi-skewer, you throw out your spear, you hit 7 enemies, it applies Doom to all 7. It does, you know, some burst damage after that. It works okay. We don't have any special things going on right now, except for no, not electroshot. That's our right click. And we just don't have any. I'm gonna do extending jab, even though I have yet to take massive spin. I don't really like the spin attack on the spear. Maybe I should try to use it more, but we're gonna do this guy. The spin attack, if I hold my left click, it's this thing. I haven't even done it yet. So that modifier would have just made this bigger and do more damage. As enemies are spawning in, it's probably more efficient to open with a spin attack, but I have yet to do that. Yeah, let me know if the audio is terrible and I can adjust. I think it looks okay, but it's hard for me to tell. We'll do it. Oh, it is done. Well, they have the block the first attack modifier on them. That doesn't actually do anything except for get rid of that, I suppose. Oh my goodness. Lots of loop noises going on. Hold the phone. Gotta kill these, I don't know what these are called. These are the wave boys. Throw waves at you. Or maybe that's the red one. I don't know. Oh, nope. Here's the wave. Oh, but it's a red one. That is what it is. Boop. The Mayo King with another gift subby, dude. Man. Ooh. Ice Curve 69. Congrats, guys. All right. Let's adjust from here. Okay. Let's see how it goes. I think you know that adjusting audio on your own is a struggle. I'm looking at like OBS bars to gauge like, oh, that probably sounds okay. I had somebody in my chat one time tell me, could you please raise the sound of the game 5 to 7%? And that was one of the most helpful comments absolutely ever. I was like, yes, that's a very specific amount, and I appreciate what you're doing for me right now.
Why do I bother?
There we are.
All right, we got 73 more Hades bucks. We're gonna do Ares over Aphrodite, for sure. Murder barge. Yeah, I used to try to do like a quick like YouTube type of recording on games, but then I had a hard time, like, I don't know, I don't like listening to myself talk. So I found my voice volume was always way too low because I didn't want to hear me talk. So I don't know, I just gave up and started asking for help. It works out. It works out. I think we get there in the end. So these little blue crystal guys put invulnerability on enemies. So we're trying to kill them first, basically. And we're just constantly dashing to dodge the projectile attacks from these nerds over here.
What do we have here?
I see that you have Lady Aphrodite's blessing there already.
Special inflicts doom. So now I'm kind of wishing we, that's exactly what I was talking about before. Do we want that? Probably. Could also just take the urge to kill, which is a 10% bonus on everything. That is solid too. Let's do Doom. I find that the Doom builds seem to not scale that well into the later game. Like it hasn't worked for me to kill Hades himself. But I haven't gone for one in a while, so I'm willing to give it another shot. There's nothing about this spear build in particular that I am dying to keep going at this point. It's okay. Get a first D1 hay in chat. I hope so, man. Boop. If there's enough people. I can't even see how many people are in the stream right now. Excuse me.
All mine.
1 billion people. All right, so the trident is Poseidon, as you may or may not expect. I'm just gonna take the max HP at this point. I don't know what I'm looking for from Poseidon. Poseidon does some knockback effects, which are okay.
Thanatos.
Never had Thanatos in Act 2 before. Okay, so this event in particular, we're basically racing this guy to kill enemies, and whoever has the most enemies at the end is the winner. I say this knowing I am going to lose now, but I have never lost this event, so I don't actually know what happens when you lose, though it looks like I probably am today. I just can't kill them fast enough. You can kind of see his damage pop up from time to time. It's 999 damage. So racing him when we don't have strong enough modifiers is difficult. There's a lot of shit on the screen. Excuse me, Thanatos, can you please stop ringing the bell? What? I thought we killed this guy. Oh! Oh my god, we won.
The strength of the centaurs.
Woo! If you got a lot of Dane bucks, you should do the modifier to give my dude sunglasses. Or, you know, you do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. But I like that one. Let me see if I can find it. Like this guy with sunglasses. There you go. It's kind of hard to tell, but... Oh, Hades. We gotta have Hades. Not Hades, Hermes, sorry. The wings are Hermes. Hermes gives you modifiers to your movement speed, your number of dashes, your attack speed. These are all okay. And if we had taken the multi-special, we could have had Doom and a faster special as well. The hat? Dude, the hat's a good idea. Stop the stream. Hold on 1 second. There you go. Art imitates life, or something like that, or vice versa. Whatever makes more sense. Okay, dude. I had a friend try to get us to buy Atlas because it's less than $5. Still probably not worth it at less than $5, my friend.
It's been too long.
I'll be real. Alright, so this is the Bone Hydra. This is the second boss. There are 4 total, so this is kind of the halfway point. There's 3-ish phases. So after that phase, we'll have to fight a couple Hydra heads, and then next phase, we'll have to fight... Oops. Okay, I am playing poorly. We'll have to fight even more Hydra heads, and then after that, we'll, you guessed it, have to fight even more Hydra heads. And this fight, like, the boss fights in particular are usually where you're losing the runs, so this is why I feel the most comfortable taking the modifier that gives them... Oops. 1 free attack, or like one bit of armor. They absorb 1 single attack from you, which matters really so little at the end of the day. Like, compared to taking additional damage from enemies, it's just not even close. So we fought 2 Hydra heads first, now we're on to 4. Ah! Please not. I don't know if I should be applying Doom there or not. Maybe I forgot to mention earlier, there's a modifier in the game that you gain outside of here that makes it so when they're afflicted by your red things, red crystals, they take 10% more damage. So that's why oops. I'm applying it more for that bonus than anything else. There's 2 hidden Chipotle burritos. There's one here in the top left, and then there's one in the top right as well. They're in these green vases. The Chipotle gives you life, as you might expect. All right, so this is the last phase. We got 6 Hydra heads and a lot of just shit on the screen. So the way I like to play this out, if we can, just like work our way up a certain direction, because you can range like a few of them. So now if we go to the left or whatever, the 2 on the right just don't do anything. But we'll see how it goes. Ah! I think there's like different heads in the game too, and they do different stuff. I don't know the difference yet though, because there's certain ones that'll spawn enemies during this phase. Obviously there's the red crap on the ground too, which seems to be the only modifier we have here. Boop. Excuse me. He makes it look easy. No, I usually die either at the end of the next act or on Hades himself at this point with this amount of modifiers.
We'll have you back here soon enough, I think.
Don't count on it. Got it.
Oh, the stream went up tenfold. Good. It's nice to have that good constructive feedback. You never know. So the Palm of Power, which is a pomegranate, if you can't tell. The Palm of Power gives you +1 level to a random skill that you currently have acquired, so we're making our current skills better. Versus the Hades Bucks, which just gives us more currency. Do the Palm of Power for some more scaling. I'll be honest, I don't really know what we're looking to get upgraded here. Again, it's randomized. We'll have 3 choices, and we'll take what we get. Excuse me. The chariots made me mad one night. The chariots just charge at you, and they knock you back along the way. And if they catch you, basically they'll just keep knocking you back, and because you knock back and they're still charging you, it'll be like a hit. You can very quickly take 30+ damage from a chariot, and I just got salty one night because I couldn't deal with them. These little ones just explode, so if they catch you, they explode and do a small set of damage. Oops, like that. Oh yeah, and then there's crap along the walls too.
A palm of power.
Palm of Power. So as your stuff gains levels, the effect is reduced. So currently, if we take Heartbreak Strike, level 2, we gain 20% damage on our attack. Whereas if we were to then find level 3, 4, 5, and so on, it would be less than 20% from here on out. So you can kind of gauge your upgrades based on that. You can see our cast goes up by 36 damage, or we can increase jolt damage by quite a lot. And I think this is why Static Discharge is so good. Gain a lot of just flat damage from it, which is then gonna stack with your lightning damage. But we're doing most of our damage by attacks right now, so we'll do an extra 20% on that. I am sad we didn't take the special build though. That would have been so much cooler. Ah, that was dumb. Excuse me. Ah, so these are the blue crystals that are making them invulnerable. These guys kind of have to kill twice. They pop out that little eyeball deal, and then you have to kill the eyeball. And if you don't kill it fast enough, then the enemy comes back. So it's kind of fun. That was bad. Oh, please, hammer. Give me something amazing. I believe there's something for the spear, like there is for the bow, where you can just hold left click to get a really fast attack to come out. But it's been a while since I've had that, so I don't quite recall if that is a real thing or if I'm just making that up. Oh, whoops. Ah! Now, you think the butterflies would be like a nice, calm, peaceful enemy that would be nice to see, but these butterflies piss me off, man. They're so slow, but there's so many of them. They find their way to you, and because they're so slow moving, I think I have a hard time just keeping track of them all. It's also because they're small. Like one can sneak through really easily. Ah! Like that.
Let's go, Varatha.
Yes, this is exactly what I was talking about. Flurry jab. So we have extending jab. Your attack has more range and deals more damage. And then we have flurry jab, hold attack to strike rapidly. So it looks something like this. And this is where the game gets more interesting, in my opinion, when you start getting these fun modifiers on it. The 50. Absolutely take another Hermes here. Spear guys are a problem. I should maybe stop trying to melee them. Rely on my special some more, because they basically do what we do. They have a long-range spear attack. The shield boys that is like slow creeping up on me right now are probably my least favorite. Their attack pattern's really obnoxious. No. All right, so this one came back. That sucks. So they block everything from the front. We'll just spin on them. They block everything from the front, so you have to dodge behind them. But they also have a lot of big, wide angle attacks when you're in melee range with them too. Ooh, my. 25% dodge is insane. When I first saw the dodge, I was wholly unimpressed, but then I actually played with the dodge and it was amazing.
You have returned to my chamber. I trust you are familiar now with what this means.
So we'll see in a little while. This is one half of the third act bosses. You have to fight 2 bosses when you go through Act 3. By running into this guy in this event, we'll beat him down, and then when we do finally fight him in the actual fight in the third act, he'll be much weaker as a result of it. So it's kind of nice to run into him here. At first I was annoyed because he's very strong, but once you get his pattern down, it's not as bad. Oops. Nope. Okay, dude. Not even a scratch. We haven't even been hit yet. It said dodge, so we would have been hit there. It's kind of famous last words. You get cocky in this game. Alright, I hate this. So he charges at you and you have to run him into a pillar, but the contact with the pillar is not... Like, the hitbox of him and the pillar is not where I'd like it to be. But we didn't even take damage that fight, so all in all, it's good.
It's such a cruelty that your father hid the knowledge of your birth and life from us, my cousin. It's unacceptable.
Totally.
Shield of light.
Yeah, I'm going to do the God Gauge, which is this guy down here. So when this is totally full, that's when we can use our Greater Call and become impervious. So now we're going to start at a quarter full. And because we have Ares Call, I was talking about this earlier, and we actually become impervious during our Greater Call. I like that a lot. It saves us so much HP in the long run, just being able to spin on them and finish fights without actually having to do anything. It'll maybe allow us to use it an extra time in a boss fight, but that's not really why I took that. It's mostly for these floor fights. And we can, if you see, we can use our God Gauge like whenever we want to, even at a single bar. It just doesn't last that long. The murder butterflies. See, this, I was complaining about the butterflies and it didn't seem like a big deal. Man, when you get 3 of these things out here, that's a lot of butterflies to keep track of.
That'll keep me going for a bit.
Fear the butterflies, trust me. Hey, Big O. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a fun little roguelite. I've been having a blast with it. I actually should have looked. I don't know. Oops. I don't know how many hours I have in it, but considering I bought it like a week ago, too many. Oh no. It's all gonna fall apart on these spear guys, or the shield guys rather. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw my spear through them, and on the way back, it'll actually do damage and apply doom. And then the doom proc is gonna be where the bulk of our damage comes from. I think anyway. There's just too many of them. Also spin on them, like I was just talking about. I think this is why I was saying earlier, like making a nice well-rounded build and not just completely going forward with like all just auto attacks or whatever becomes really important. Because there's oops, shit. There's instances where like if we were strictly auto attack based here, we just would take a ton of extra damage and it would start to fall apart. Every build has weaknesses. Oh, the chariot! No! 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 That's what I meant by like taking 30 damage from a chariot. That stuff makes me a little salty. Alright. Take our gems. We're very close to the boss at this point. So if we took a... there's none here. I was going to say if we took a 2 or 3, maybe 3 encounter modifier at one of those shops, we'd get benefit from it, but it just wasn't there. Dude, not more shield guys, please.
Next.
Yeah, so much for that speed run, huh? No more shields, please. No, 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 no. You gotta love the Ares call.
Gemstones.
There's some other good ones that are more like just upfront damage, but I don't like them as much.
Get out of here.
Dude, enough with the shields.
Good night. Damn it, one's come back.
One's come back? Oh, whoops. We're not gonna get like anything out of this. Yes, quickly, quickly, please. We got 33. That's not bad.
Cheers.
That is delicious. There are occasionally rooms like this where you have two god symbols, and the room is extra difficult, but you get twice the rewards. I think they're usually worth it.
Pick a favorite.
So we pick a god to begin with, and then we piss off the other god, and that causes like basically a room modifier based off of the god that we piss off. So Ares creates some spinning blades. I actually forget what Aphrodite does. So I'm going to do Aphrodite because I know how to deal with Ares being pissed off. It's only temporary though. Yes. It's temporary. So when we clear the room, Ares is like, all right, not a big deal. Classic Ares. So you can see the whirling blades now. Not that big of a deal. It's more shit to keep track of. Oh man. Oh, almost. Almost. Alright, after you take damage, inflict doom or 8%. I would also say that the modifiers we've been offered so far have been pretty weak. 8% bonus, dude, that's just nothing. This is okay. Honestly, I think 8% damage is going to be more damage than inflicting doom when we get hit. But we'll see. After the third boss, we're offered a larger room with more like six shop options. So this is a shop here. I think I'm going to pass on the shop for the max HP just because we're going to be offered a shop right after this. I think we can make it through this fight without anything from a shop, and I'd rather have better options at the end of this than whatever is going to come from this fight.
I'm back.
You face the champion and me. Ready yourself.
Whoops. Oh man, I dodged into him.
I think not.
Phase 2.
I guess they're testing me.
Uh-oh. This guy telegraphs his attacks maybe too much. But then again, if he didn't, the fight with two of them might be too easy. Whenever he's walking towards you, he does the spin up attack. And then whenever he throws his spear at you, he'll always walk away from you after that. That's kind of your opportunity to do damage. Oops. Oh, right on top of that. He doesn't actually have that much HP. But I find myself always going for the bull first, mostly because you end up with all this extra crap on the floor. I don't want to try to fight two enemies at the same time while all that's going on too. Because the bull just jumps around at you a lot.
The good stuff.
Good stuff.
The worst is yet to come, boy.
Looking forward to it.
So this fountain allows you to sell some stuff. I think I'm going to do that. 558 Hades bucks going on to the last act. We should be just fine into the Hades fight. The one thing we haven't encountered yet is we have what's called Death's Defiance. So we can die. If you look in the bottom left here, we have 3 of these little base dudes up here. So every time we take lethal damage, we'll come back to life at half HP 3 times. We haven't used any of those charges yet,
I can use.
but that's an incentive for you to raise your max HP because you come back with more HP after you die, basically, for the first time. Or at least that's how I see it.
And here we go.
Move speed is good.
Yes. Sata tunnels.
All right. So you have 5 different tunnels here, and the last guy here is Cerberus, who's your puppy. He's guarding the gates out of hell, basically. So we have to go find this thing at the end of one of these random tunnels to give to Cerberus, so he'll get out of the way, so we can then fight our dad. And that's where the real challenge comes in, at least so far.
Lots of coin there.
These bigger dudes that I'm targeting right now spit a poison on you that will constantly tick down 1 damage per second, or maybe every half second, until you go to one of these fountains to cure yourself of the poison. So usually they're a first target when you're coming through the tunnels. So basically I just kind of keep jumping around and trying to keep them like under duress so they can't attack. At least that's my general strategy for now for dealing with the satyrs.
All coming.
Ah! Please. No! Or you can just, step on the poison. If you're really good at the game. Let me up there. Oh, level 1 call is so bad. I've gotten the Ares call up to 40-some damage at one point, or high 30s, I don't recall. That was nice. That damage goes quick.
Delicious.
Okay. Nice. So we got to almost exactly 250 bucks. Usually the 250 80s bucks, what do I call them? Palm of Power is +2 levels on all of your stuff. 39% on the gauge. We're gonna do the extra rift damage though. Yeah. But we didn't find the special thing at the end of the tunnel that we chose, so now we have to go through more of them. See the little elite skulls on these two paths. I really want the max HP. I really want the dollars. I guess the dollars only give us an Aphrodite modifier though. Go for the max HP. Not too afraid of the elite combats outside of an elite satyr. Is perhaps my least favorite.
Lucky find.
All right, we got a snake stone. Ooh. So at the end of all these elite floors, you end up with an elite boss who just has a ton of extra HP and some kind of funky modifier, which I guess in this instance allows them to fire in all angles. But like I said, I'm only really scared of the satyrs who inflict poison. Ah! Right on.
Go clop your hooves in hell.
Oh my.
Enough of this place.
It's 150 bucks anyway. I'm gonna hang on for the Zeus modifier potentially. I think that's just gonna be better than Aphrodite. Aphrodite could give us +1 level on our Heartbreak Strike though. I don't think I care. It could happen. Go for Zeus. Zeus into Zeus. Sounds good to me.
I'm rich.
No, I used up the fountain.
Okay.
Alright, I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm bad.
No satyrs.
So this is the end. We found the thing that we were looking for. We're a 50 gold short of
Tartarus just allows us
getting the last Zeus modifier, though. Something to consider. Oh. Faster God gauge. Yes.
Lord Zeus's strength. No way.
So not only does it start at 25%, but it grows faster. Yeah. At this point, we could choose to do 2 additional rooms, but almost certainly at the cost of HP.
Charon.
So I'm just going to do Aphrodite here, and then move on. What's that? Your doom effects continuously strike weak foes? What does that mean? Is that apply doom? It can't be. I must have to apply doom, and then it'll just stay there and keep doing damage as I attack, since I apply weak with my attack. It's interesting.
Thank you, boy.
All right, we're on to the last boss.
I guess there's only one thing left to do. Isn't that so, Father?
You bypassed Cerberus again, I see. Unfortunately for the...
Ah, this is so dumb. So I actually struggle on the Hades fight quite a lot. I don't know if it's a matter of just not having the patterns down, or if the fight is just that chaotic, which I think it's meant to be, just that chaotic. Though I also think I have a lot of learning to do in pattern recognition to gain. I've only made it to Hades, I don't know how many times. Less than 10, well, maybe 10-ish times. So the fact that I don't have all the patterns down yet makes sense.
You dare lash out against me like this, boy? I do. Stubborn oaf.
I do.
Predictable the war god would be here.
Hades. Ugh. What? Excuse me? Alright, we're just gonna dodge the wave, which I really suck at. Okay, so either it's a problem with the wave or with me. Maybe it's both. But man, I cannot dodge that wave to save my life. I don't know what it is. It seems like the width of the wave and the length of the dash are close. So you have to time it really well. Can we please go closer to the butterflies? Yeah, I'm really digging the weak Doom combo. I think we're getting a lot of extra damage out of that. Yeah, really. That was a good attack, dude. I can't hit that one. Oh, but wait. There's more. Ah, the wave! I totally forgot about it. God. So that was the easy part of the fight. Now it gets just like super chaotic. My man does just so much crap. Oops, 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 oops. Bad. Oops, no, I messed up. All right, so we used one charge. We still have 2 more to go. I just came back with 175 HP, which is a lot in my experience. God, there's so many of these. He's supposed to break the vases, but he's just not. And that's the whole game.
Why? I was much stronger once than this. See you at home.
Yes. By my father's name.
Cool. So making our way through with the hotness modifiers. Current streak of 3. So I think I won a game last night, and then whenever I played before that.
One might suppose the prince's tale most likely ends akin to other tales of the heroes of our time, like so.
Ooh, that's a long run.